Oh, and you're making them work through this too, James?
Well, I'm trying to get. Hey guys. Hold on a second. That's Bob. That's Bob Ryan.
Hi, Bob Ryan.
How are you?
Good.
Bob
You're on the TV.
I'm on the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're doing a little demo on telly. Yeah. Doing some videos. How are you?
Good.
Everybody together here.
Okay, yeah, be right in.
New shirts. Yeah.
Oh, those are nice. Those are really nice.
I'll send you some. And then this Alan does our video and photo. And
so you're the media manager, Alan?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, just started up recently, and so we're finding our way through.
Are you also involved in repair, or are you mostly handling the media aspect?
Just the media, and I help with Jake in the back with listings and taking up, open up guitars and photographing the insides.
Okay.
For listings and stuff. Yeah.
So James, you're retail. You got a retail component. You got a repair component.
Yeah.
Anything else going on there? Are you also doing you fixing old T-birds or anything in there? Or?
Yeah. Well, actually, so there was a satellite in the back that has now, it's gone because now we've got a bunch of woodworking machines.
Okay.
In the back shop because Tucker and Mikki, they both build. So Mikki builds mandolins.
Okay.
F style and A style. Mikki.
Oh yeah.
And A's. And Tucker builds acoustic guitars, electric guitars. So part of what we're doing is that they're going to come in here and start building.
Cool.
Like at night, it'll start at night, and then we'll just kind of grow it from there. So I'm going to need more techs for sure.
All right. So if anybody, you're in California, correct?
Yeah, we're in Oceanside, California.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that Northern California or
San Diego?
San Diego.
Yeah.
Well, Danny knows a thing or two about that.
Yeah, he does.
So
down in the North Park area, right, Danny?
Just outside of downtown.
Oh, okay.
What's it called? Logan Heights.
Very cool.
Gotcha.
Cool. Right on.
All right. I'll get everybody in here.
Yeah,
okay.
I actually, maybe I'll have you hold the camera.
Yeah.
But I can't get it. I don't understand. I'm trying to figure out how to flip this around.
So are you on iPhone or are you on?
Found it.
Awesome.
Cool. I'm going to have my camera guy help out here. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, it is.
Jakey.
I think he's out that way.
Jake.
I don't know. I just want. So I gotta order that. I gotta order this banjo head.
Let's get this thing going.
Yeah, we do.
Is he smoking? No.
Come on, Jakey.
Smoke break.
I just want to get it apart because it's a process.
Banjo work.
Banjo, you say?
Yeah, look at this. Bring you over here.
Takes 30 minutes just to tear it down.
There it is.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah, every day.
righty tighty, lefty loosey on that, correct?
Yeah.
Wait, am I doing it backwards?
I don't know.
They don't let me touch tools.
It's like working on a
Righty-
Volkswagen.
Righty sharpy, lefty flatty is what.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
Righty, sharpie, lefty,
That's it.
flatty.
That's it. Flat and sharp.
Where'd Jakey go?
I don't know. He was.
Who? Jake.
He doesn't like it.
Jake's shy.
Yeah, he's a little
He
shy.
doesn't like being on camera.
Should I take him into the back area and show him that stuff?
Yeah, so we'll give you a quick tour while we.
Yeah, let's do a tour. I got maybe let's give it one more minute to see if we get anybody else filtering in. I think we're good though. Do you think we got everybody, Ted? Probably everybody. We're gonna have Saturday's a little bit of an off-brand day, so we're probably gonna have a little bit light load because I only put Saturday in capital letters twice, and even Danny missed that. He's pretty.
Yeah, and I wrote it like 3 different times, and I still forgot. So
Yeah.
um,
All right, let's do it. Let's do a tour. You want to start as a customer comes through the door and work our way from the front to the back, or the back to the front, or
Yeah, let's go out front and come in the door and kind of give them the rundown. It's good. So, let me get my sweatshirt. Jake's hiding.
Did you say you're old or cold?
Both.
All right.
Right, so this is the front of the shop. Over here we have all the restaurants that we want to choose from. We got sushi, we got Mexican food, we got Thai food, whatever kind of food you want.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all gaining weight as a result too. But this is the front.
And here's the lobby.
Oh, this is nice.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Cool little lobby.
Who's-
And
Who's doing the design stuff here? James, how did you pick all this tasteful furniture? Did you do that, or did your wife come in and help you out with that?
my wife said wood and white is easy and looks good, and it's easy to put accents in. She thinks I put too much wood in here, but
I think it's awesome.
it's all right, you know. Good old Home Depot, you know.
Yeah, so we got the cool chairs.
I like those chairs.
Yeah.
Are those modern, or did you pick those up somewhere else, or?
Those came from, actually, those belong to my partner.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
they've got a lot of cool furniture and stuff.
Awesome.
So you come in here, you know, we got a line of people. You can sit down in chairs. And then we've got right here, this is one of the intakes where Bob and Tucker are at.
Cool.
This is also a nice piece of oak furniture.
Dig the old amps too.
So this is part showroom, part check-in area.
Yeah.
Are you? I see a calling sign back there. Are you a dealer of any new stuff, or is this all stuff that you get in, fix up and flip, or what's the?
So that calling sign came from the old Buffalo Brothers
Oh,
guitar,
okay.
Which we were a dealer of.
We were a dealer over there for callings. So when I had to shut everything down, I got to keep the sign.
So wait a second.
Did you get the chicken?
What's the story with Buffalo Brothers? You were once working there, or?
So I started out there in 2004, and then in 2000, shortly after that, I went into the repair department, and then in 2010, I bought the repair department, and stayed there. And 2013, I tried to buy the whole place, and then 2014 filed for bankruptcy.
You did, or Buffalo Brothers did?
I did. I had to shut the whole thing down.
Yeah. So Buffalo Brothers, that's like they've been around forever, correct?
Yeah, they were around since the 70s under names. But
We come from there.
yeah, that's where we come from. That's where we all like cut our teeth.
Cool. So let's see here. So where did you get your start, James? Did you go to school, or did you just walk into a repair shop and have a knack for it and start popping next to cash and checks?
So actually, I've always been mechanically inclined and just kind of had this just kind of feel for working on my own guitars. You know, it started with learning how to do setups, and then you learn how to solder and make solder ply. And then from there, I met other people who did repair work, and I didn't get into it until later, though. I had 26 different jobs through my entire life until I hit this and realized that there was something to it.
Yeah.
And
Was there a lot of transferable skills from your other jobs that help you in this? Yep.
Sales from being in the mortgage industry.
Yeah.
I've done, worked in retail stores, and I worked with painters and all kinds of stuff. Burger Joint, Del Taco, you know, that in those places you just learn to deal with mean people.
Yeah. And you learn how to work too. Like a lot of people that if they get into guitars before they understand how to stay focused and get through a job, like it can be, you know, it can be hard to make it in this because it does ultimately require some work.
Yeah, it does. A lot of brain work.
A lot of brain work, a lot of sticking with things when things aren't going right, you know, like.
Oh yeah.
So can we look at that check-in bench again too? I like the flow idea there with it being accessible all the way around. Like, do you find that you're like bringing customers kind of around to the other side to show them what you're talking about, or you know, there's kind of it seems like there's access there, but it also kind of lets a customer know that maybe you shouldn't come back here unless you're invited to. Do you have people?
It's pretty welcoming. So.
It's nice to throw a guitar down on the bench and look at it, you know, like a doctor's office.
So you've got 2 check-in benches there, correct? Like the other one works as a check-in as well.
Yeah.
So what's your daily? How many guitars a day are coming in? Do you think?
That's a good question.
Gosh. Well, we got
Easier to answer. We keep between 60 and 90 at all times in the back. 60, 90.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you ever surprised about that? Are you ever like, who's playing all these guitars?
I'm totally surprised by it. I had no idea there was this much repair.
Yeah. It's I went to when I blew out my Achilles tendon. I went to a doctor and he asked me what I do, and I said I fix guitars, and he's like, "Those break?" And I was like, "Buddy, you have no idea. you have no idea." So to the right there, who's the young fellow standing by the cash register? Is he trustable to stand next to the money, or?
Yeah, that's Tucker.
My name's Tucker.
Hey, Tucker. So what? I see a laptop there. Is that your point of sale, or how are you doing point of sale and keeping track of 60 guitars incoming?
Yeah, we have a really good, pretty advanced computer system that James has set up. It's called Repair Shopper, and it's a computer repair program that we've adapted to do guitar repair. It keeps track of all of our tickets and lists, and everything we get, we write pretty copious notes on, and save everything.
Can we so Repair Shopper is kind of like did that start in like the bicycle repair or something like that, or is that kind of like from that industry, or?
Yeah, computer repair.
Computer repair. Okay. Can we go behind there and see what what it would look like if a guitar came in?
Exactly. Good
So
call.
we've got customers. I'll go to tickets. This is our list of tickets right now. And we have a bunch of different statuses. We can show like what's in right now, what needs work and what not. We can pick the tech, so I'll pick myself and then apply that. And then this is how we maintain our working orders. There's pretty older jobs up front, and these are long-term, a lot of finish work, a lot of refinishes and stuff like that, restorations. And then it gets down into the daily quicker turnaround work, and we just kind of work off these lists, keep everything in order. But that's all just the jobs on my name right now.
Okay, so you could select to see what James's work log looks like.
Yes, so that's my log. I'll go to James.
Tucker, I didn't realize you had so much.
I'm fully invested. I got to work.
Is that your anxiety screen right there?
Yeah, it's an anxiety screen.
We need another tech.
So
this is so everyone's got their own list, and we all just kind of self-manage our lists, and we work together. We help out where it's needed.
Yep.
And it's a really good program though. And then say you click on one, we can.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
Yeah. So I just clicked on one ticket, just a random one. This is a neck reset, but we keep down their serial number, their make and model. We write the action when it comes in. Get everything we can about it. We try to write down notes about every little step of the way. So say I have to transfer my job over to a different tech, they don't have to ask questions. It's all on the computer.
So this software package, did it come in pretty flexible for changing those fields and making it specific to guitars, or was this a hassle to make work for a guitar repair?
So the fields for computer repair are still there. You can just add different fields, and so
Okay.
you can pretty much customize this for however you want your workflow to be.
It's also coded for how many days.
So what I mean by workflow
How
is,
many days we have? 4 days, 3 days.
why don't you show them like from start to finish?
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
guys
we could do that. We could do that.
this is how we take in a guitar. I'm going to use our walk-in customer because
make one for
we'll-
Ian,
okay, yeah, we'll make one. New customer.
and then he's gonna
So,
get
tell him I got a double neck ukulele.
get his.
So
But
Yeah,
then we
yeah.
gotta fix the skin flute. So
Oh my goodness.
okay, but get his cell phone.
He has another J200
Okay,
that needs
so-
a neck reset.
What?
He has another J200 that needs a neck reset.
Shut up. Hey, I talked to the customer about that one, and I sawed the paddle off, and we're going just to a standard dovetail on
That
it.
sounds good. That sounds good.
Nice.
Did you tell him I helped you with that?
Yeah,
What did I say? It's just as easy as any of them, something like that.
right. Yeah, Danny, I called Ian, and I asked him what his experience was with these things, and he said, "Oh, last one I did came off like a regular dovetail," and I'm just like cursing for 16 hours. What the?
To be fair, I've only ever done one, and it wasn't a J200. I forget what it was.
Okay, here, let's go
should
through
we
this.
show them this?
Yeah.
Ian's in.
Yeah, so we're going to show you just how to take in a new customer and
Okay.
our system. Last name, we're just going to use you, Ian.
Okay,
How do you spell
Davlin.
Davlin?
DAVLIN, right?
that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Davlin.
Davlin. So then we would take an email address.
What's your email address? Ian.Davlin?
Ian.Davlin at gmail.com. Alan Watsky had to chime in that he built a double neck electric
Oh,
ukulele.
Yeah, that poor guy.
So then we would take your phone number.
Just any numbers.
All right, cool.
Cool.
All right.
So then we would create a customer and a ticket if you were dropping off a guitar right now.
Mhm.
So now we're going to create a ticket.
So what did you say was wrong with the flute?
Um,
Got enough skin on it.
Gunk in the hole.
yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Just put in their neck reset on Gibson J200 Artist Series. Just make up a serial number.
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they are.
There's a little more work on the front end
Yeah.
with this, but the problem that I was having with the guys that were working for me who don't work for me anymore were they would like lose a guitar case, or there wouldn't be sufficient notes taken, or stuff like that. So I want
Chaos.
I wanted to create some fail safes here. So you're forced to put information in certain fields.
Okay.
And this is just good when you've got multiple techs in your shop.
That's awesome. Yeah. Always.
Just throwing stuff on there.
Oh, okay.
We would write notes. We would write copious notes and whatever needs to be
Go ahead
done.
and finish the ticket, because then it sends a text to Ian.
Yeah. So then we'll put whoever's working on it.
Tucker.
So
take
the deciding who works on it, like James, are you doing all of the incomings, or are you waiting to decide like who makes the ultimate decision who's working on what? And do you have like guys with different specialties, and you try to like make sure that if you got one guy that's maybe stronger at neck resets, you kind of cherry pick certain projects for him, or how does that work?
Correct. So I'm doing most of the finished work and neck resets right now. It is based on skill level. And so Mikki, I've been throwing refrets at Mikki, and he's doing setup work and some other things. And Tucker's really skilled too, so he can handle refrets and those shrunken binding repairs on Martins and
A lot of crack repairs and electronic diagnosis troubleshoot.
yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
So now you got
Yeah.
to take it.
Now I got a ticket, and I can call you, and when I ask you about it, I'm sure there must be like a SKU number or something like that you can look up and say, oh, this is what's going on here.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
exactly.
We have communication too throughout the repair. I have a field here where I can talk to you and you can ask questions, and
Send you
we can share pictures of the repair as we're doing it.
We send you text or email and whatever
Dude, your guitar
works.
sucks, bro.
So how much does this suite cost? Is this an expensive?
It's not cheap.
So right now I'm paying for 2 sites because we're opening a second location that's about 27 miles from here. But what did it cost? It cost me $100 a year.
That's not terrible.
Yeah,
But
but
initially
now
it's
it costs me
expensive.
$100 a month because I have multiple locations that I have to keep track of.
Okay.
But initially,
But still, it's such a good price and it's so worth it.
what did the initial software cost though?
It's like
Not much.
so it's once you're doing like a certain amount of tickets, you can check it out online. It's Repair Shopper, REPAIRSHOPR. There's no
Shopper.
so Repair Shop R.
My
and
brother
there's-
looked into it and said it was expensive.
Oh,
My brother looked into it has a company and he said it was expensive to get up, man.
Well, they probably have it. They probably charge people that have more money a little bit more, I would think. But so does that then print out a sticker or something that you can put on a tag or to go on the case?
Yeah.
yes, it can. I don't have it printing out tags right at the moment.
Okay.
We just have it set to communicate with auto printer.
Okay.
And this also connects with Google printers. So
Okay.
you can print to whatever device.
So we print the ticket out after we make it, and it just comes out on a piece of paper like that, and then we just fold these up and stick them so they're hanging out of the guitar cases.
Okay.
We can
And do
show
you
them.
put
Yeah,
so
we can vault.
let's go back to the incoming and check out your incoming file.
Okay.
Oh, so you have it out so that you can read the zebra code, or you can read
actually
the
just
name.
we leave it so it's hanging out of the
Vault.
case
Let's
like
go to the
this.
vault right now.
Yeah.
That's a good
we'll
segue.
Lead on, gentlemen.
This is a good segue.
So this is the main workroom here you're walking through.
Yeah, main workroom. A couple of benches. And then James's
I have a workspace
couple of
back
benches in here. That's James's room.
And then I have an
This is
office
the back
right
warehouse. This is the back warehouse. We have our power tools.
Cool. Explosion-proof cabinet back over there.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And this is the vault where we keep some of our collection, and all these tickets on the right are jobs. So these are all tickets from the computer printout. These are done, finished. And these are just about, like I said, between 60 and 85 tickets at all times.
between the ones hanging out here.
Yeah.
So these are our tickets. And then we have a little bit of a collection of instruments back here too in the vault. These are all just different guitars,
Some amps too.
some amps.
There's Mikki working again.
And a whole lot of-
Sorry about that, guys. My $100 internet apparently isn't good enough.
Bosses here.
Oh yeah.
So this is where we are. This is where we keep them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of tickets in.
We're busy. We're busy.
Hold on a second. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've lost video. So I'm gonna log out and log back in really quick. Okay.
Okay, you lost the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stupid internet.
Yeah, we can see you.
Looks like the starter package on Repair Shopper is $50 a month now.
Oh, okay. They changed it.
Yeah, lots of woodworking gear, and we do guitar forensic stuff back here too. If we're selling a vintage guitar over there, we got one on the bench. We pull it apart, take pictures of the pots and stuff, make sure everything's proper before we sell it. He's just not hearing me now though.
Yeah, he had to log out.
It's okay. You're still on the recording. So
Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah.
On. I guess I came in auto muted. I'm sorry. So commercial real estate in San Diego. How is this to rent? Is this crazy?
Well, so this space belongs to my partner,
Okay.
and I pay $2,400 a month. That's how much this cost me
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
But there's a lot of vacancies because of all the crap that's been going on.
Yeah.
So it's causing commercial real estate to prices per square foot to go down.
Yeah. New York is experiencing the same thing. Like everything, all the rents are coming down in New York. So it's a hell of a time to start a business.
Yeah.
I started my business after the financial crash of 2008, and I rented something for so cheap I couldn't believe it. Like I called the guy, and I was like, I'm just curious, but there's no way I could afford to rent this. And he was like, tell you what, I'll make you a deal. I'm like, I'm in business. Who knew?
Yeah.
So
Somebody asked, how much of your business is buying and selling guitars?
yeah.
Honestly, it depends on the month. Some months the sales of guitars will exceed what we've done in service work, or it'll come up to it. We just sold a $25,000 Strat, so that doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
But I'd say right now, this month we've done about $22,000 in service work, and average probably about $10,000 a month in guitar sales.
So I wanted to talk just a little bit about, you talked kind of like you had some guys working for you that maybe things didn't go so well, and then you got new guys. I think that's probably the more interesting thing to talk about in this. And I know you guys are all standing around, so you're not gonna say what's really on your mind with everybody standing around. But
Yeah.
I wanted to say, like, I've experimented probably 3 times in my life with managing people, and it's always ended disastrously. And the only thing I can think of is it was always them. Like that's the only rational thing I can come up with. But what do you think? Like, what would you say is probably something that you need to come to grips with if you're going to have, like, if you're starting out and you're being successful in business and you're like, hey, I should take on a couple guys, and you think, great, I'll bring somebody in. What would you say, like, some of the big things that you should look for in yourself and other people? Like, how do you make, like, kind of these personality decisions, and how do you resolve conflicts and stuff like that? Can you speak to any of that? I know I just kind of like shotgun blasted a lot of different topics there, but
Yeah.
those are the things that really come to mind, like, that I'm interested in finding out how you make that work.
I would say, well, the first thing is you want to be able to pay your guys on time.
Yeah.
That's a priority. You want to be able to take care of your people, because if you can take care of your people, most of the time they're going to take care of you, and your business. I learned that the hard way, because when you can't pay your guys on time, you're struggling to make to make payroll, it can cause discourse. People will tend to want to go out on their own more often, and that's more what happened to me. You know, most of the guys that worked for me just decided they were just going to go out on their own. Usually there was something that triggered them having to leave. I've had to fire some people.
Yeah.
And that's never fun, because when you work with guys for so long, you develop relationships with them, and when you gotta let them go because of whatever the situation is, that's outside of how they should have been operating within the business.
When you were when you talk about having a hard time paying guys, was that because it was just too, like, you weren't keeping track of the money, you were just kind of chaotic with money coming in and money going out, and how, that was one thing that I had, because I never, when I was in business, I never like kept track of anything. I was only a solo guy, but like I had no idea where I was at, like on a spreadsheet at any point. Have you amended those ways? Are you keeping track of your cash in and cash out a little bit better now?
Yeah, a whole lot better now, and there's still more improvement that I can make. I have a bookkeeper now, and also, when I had to close down Buffalo Brothers, there was a whole lot of debt that I ended up inheriting, and tax debt. So the IRS came after me, made attachments to my bank accounts, and just, so they were taking some of the cash flow away.
Yeah.
And that was
a lot. That was probably pretty difficult to keep track of too. Do you have like, one thing that I noticed I have is like, kind of like, I get really excited about my ideas, and I start dreaming of expansion and expansion and expansion. Do you have that same kind of personality thing? Or are you more conservative when it comes to like expansion and constantly, let's do new stuff, like?
I'm that
guy?
Yeah, I'm a total entrepreneur. I'm always thinking of new ideas. And I have a really great partner too, who believes in me, in what I'm doing, and supports that kind of vision as well. But also keeps me in check with, hey, let's focus on this for right now. Like, we just got all these woodworking machines that you can see in the background. Gnarly ass bandsaw, and so it's just it's more of a step by step. Hey, let's do this and see how this is working, and then we need to make adjustments here or there and get this a little more solid, and then we can move on to the next thing.
So you took on a partner. Is there anything you'd like to say about that? That does come up quite a bit. Like I did have, when I was in business, I had people that were interested in kind of seeing if there was something there to get involved in and expand. What do you, right now the Buffalo Brothers thing sounds like it was maybe quasi a partnership that didn't work out, or, is there anything that you could tell younger people to look for if that comes up?
When someone comes in with money, you need to make sure that they're realistic about how long it takes for a business to develop.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't happen overnight, and you have to have enough money invested in the right areas in order for the business to grow, and one of the biggest is payroll.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you have enough people so that you're not in this huge backlog, which right now we have actually another tech, that's going to be coming in. I'm just going to help with that backlog. But so yeah, it's money. I mean, you can't make money without money.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And you can be a great repair tech and work on your own and work out of your house and you're probably going to be fine. But if you want to do something like this, communication with your partner, it's just super key. You got to make sure that everything's on the table as much as possible, because you don't want to be running into surprises.
Yeah, surprises are difficult. Can we talk a little bit about how you compensate your staff? Like, are you on a percent basis, or you got guys on salary? How are you going? How are you compensating guys?
So
you don't have to give me numbers either. If you guys got standing around you, they're like, he's getting what?
Yeah, they're gonna want to come work here, and I'll tell you that, because we're I'll just say it. It does. I mean, I don't think it's bad, but we pay our guys pretty good.
Okay.
For when you consider all the other repair shops and what they're all able to offer, we also pay for half benefits. Medical. We're wanting to do 401ks. You start at 18 an hour when you come over here.
Okay.
And
I'll be booking my plane ticket tonight. I don't know. Do you need me to like work out first, or you need to see a neck set or something, or?
you can do all my neck resets. But that's the other thing too with this is that I started alone, and then early on I had a guy come to me and he says, give me a chance. My first employee, give me a chance and let me show you what I can do. And he could do a little bit, and then I showed him the things that I knew, and he just started taking off. And he's still doing work. He does work down at Pitbull Audio here in San Diego. Dan, you might know him. Sean Hutchison.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool dude.
So you pay you guys well. That I think that's like I talked to a couple guys. Asked me about like what percentage I was giving people, and I think there's some people out there that are, I wouldn't say taking advantage of people, but when you're working on commission, like it's tough. I mean, because ostensibly, you have to make money off of your guys to make it worth your while to take on kind of some of the liability of being a repair shop. But at the same time, you got to make it equitable for them to be involved in it as well. It can be really challenging.
Yeah.
But speaking of challenging, like you've been at this it sounds like you've been at this guy operation thing for some time. I worked at Gruen's, and we had 7 to 8 guys in the repair shop, and it was all cool dudes, and I love them all to pieces, but there was some drama. Like like everybody was, like you're kind of living in a like everybody's worried about what their work looks like. Everybody's worried about getting the positive reinforcement for stuff. Everybody's kind of like, like there's just some real potential for some flare-ups of personalities is what I'm trying to say. Do you have that? Do you have a way of kind of playing emotional hockey goalie on some of that stuff?
I kind of want to have all my other guys in on this one.
Yeah.
Let's go inside.
Okay.
Hey, Bob. We got everybody in here? This is a really good question. I want all of you guys to interject on.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was talking about was when I worked at Gruen's, we had like seven or 8 guys in there at all times, and like we were all like, I wouldn't say we were prima donnas or anything, but we were all like thought we were real good repair guys, and there was a lot of kind of everybody was cool and everything, but there was definitely a lot of kind of thin skins and a lot of egos and a lot of like when something would go wrong for somebody else, like there was sometimes a little bit of schadenfreude, like it wasn't what I would consider the always the most healthiest emotional work environment. Do you guys have any struggles with that? Do you guys have to ever kind of reality check each other or give out hugs or, you know, like,
We are good at really supporting each other here. It's a very healthy environment here, really.
Yeah.
And we can sense, I think what you're talking about, we can sense when there's some stress and some frustration on a job. And I think we don't tear each other down like that. And I've been in shops like that before where it's a healthy banter, but you can tear a guy down and not know it when you screwed up a fret job or something. But
yeah.
we don't have that here.
Yeah.
I don't think we don't. Do you guys think, dude?
No, not at all.
I've rarely worked at a place that was this, you know, easy to get along with.
Yeah, I was telling James the other day, we were talking about the exact same thing, and I said it's just nice to be in an environment where, you know, we support each other, we love each other, we don't have the ego, we're literally here, Tucker and I.
Except for that guy. This guy right here, huge ego, huge.
He's too young to have anything to have an ego about. What's
That
going
would be
on over
sad.
there?
He's pure driven snow.
Yeah, he's beautiful. That
Tucker and
guy.
I, as the two main techs, we're constantly bouncing stuff off of each other.
Yeah.
Constantly. And there's never an ego about it one way or the other. I mean, Tucker's 25 and I'm 56, and you know that never comes into play.
If something goes wrong too, we're all like kind of excited to get together and like let's get through this rather than
Let's fix this
rather
problem.
like oh you're in a
You're
rough spot,
screwed.
that's a bummer.
Yeah.
If someone's in a rough spot, we're all kind of gonna try to make sure we can get through it.
That's right.
So is that, James, is that kind of culture, is that going to inform your hiring decision? Like if like somebody came in and maybe they were, you know, really good, but they didn't have the kind of the attitude to go along with it, would it kind of queer the deal for you to hire them or?
Yeah, I don't care how good you are.
Uh-huh.
I had
You
what
had-
I'm about to say. This guy might hear, but I'm just being honest. But you know, when I ask for you to send a resume and then you send me a list of all the famous people you know, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Uh-huh.
It's more about you and how are you with people and what kind of repair work do you do? You know, that's what's important. Are you a team player?
Well, because you've had guys like that already.
Yeah.
It's a tight environment. You know, everybody, if somebody's a prima donna, it's gonna be uncomfortable pretty quick.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. And you couldn't pick something kind of, I don't want to, no, I won't say it. I just like looking back on it. I mean, this is guitar repair, like getting an inflated ego about it seems, I don't know. It seems like kind of a silly thing. I think I spent too much time in that headspace of thinking everything was super important. I was super cool. And that's probably why I failed at managing people ultimately, was just how, you know, like I was the one with the attitude problem. But, yeah, Alan Waxley says it's fixing broken stuff.
Creating
What about-
art on demand, as Bob says.
Yeah, they create art. You guys create art on demand. Did you say you were Groons, Ian?
I was for about 3 years. Yeah.
The Georges. That is a different environment. That's a tough thing for you to dive into down there on that 4th Avenue with Nashville and all the players. That'd be different than us being in a sleepy little San Diego County. You go up to Los Angeles, you may have more of that attitude, but
Yeah.
kind of the redheaded stepchild of Los Angeles. We just have it's just more mellow. A ton of talent, but I wouldn't want to go to Groons and work in that department for sure. That's a stressful spot. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we didn't when I started there, we didn't do any outside work. We had 7 guys and all we worked on was George's guitars and a few consignments. But when I started there was 7 guys, there was 700 guitars in the queue. They were all George's, except for maybe 20 guitars were consignment guitars. And when I left, there was 750 guitars in the queue. Three years later was 7 guys working full time. And, but the dysfunction there was like, it was just kind of over the whole thing. I would think there was just a lot of kind of leftover leftover angst, I think, but it was still fun. It was a blast. But so what about tools? Are you guys all sharing shop tools? Do you guys have their own tools? Or you guys, like?
I mean, each bench is pretty much equipped with what it needs. Major tools we share, certainly the bigger stuff that's out in the shop, and certain really specialty tools that we don't use that often. There's no reason to have multiples of those. But as far as the benches are concerned, yeah, the benches are all, 99% outfitted with everything that we need.
Do you guys does everybody have good shared space etiquette? Like if somebody goes into the booth and makes a big mess, they're pretty on it for cleaning it up. Do you have to like kind of go, hey dude, your paper towels are all over the spray booth, like
we all kind of clean as we go. We don't have a cleaning department that comes. We do it, but it'd be better. But we bleach a lot and clean a lot and vacuuming and vacuuming.
This is a pretty clean shop.
It's a pretty clean shop, but it's a bunch of guys doing work, sanding and sawing and filing. So it's a constant thing keeping it clean.
I've been really fortunate to keep everybody off my bench because I'm OCD. It looks like I never do anything because I clean about 10 times during a job.
Yeah.
So every time somebody walks by my bench, they see how clean it is. They're like,
that's one of the things, like when you're talking about paying guys an hourly, like when people are on commission, like it definitely like getting people to kind of take responsibility for the space is hard because they're like in there trying to hustle and get that cash made. David wants to know, how do you handle difficult customers or managing expectations? So you said San Diego is pretty mellow, but you got to have probably some experience with dealing with the crazies.
Any names?
So yeah, you can imagine, Ian. No, we have idiots. I think it's how we've constantly talked about. It's how you treat them at the front end. Let them know how they can be very frank about how long it might take, so that you don't set yourself up for a fall and being late on jobs. So it's being very verbal at the front end and look them in the eye. And the ones that are problems, there's maybe not a lot you can do there, but you just have to kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
I'm a front end guy, but sometimes you ask them to leave. That's not happened lately, but
No, it's very rare.
yeah, but
I think most of it's not a problem. I mean, the main thing is if we set the expectation as they come in and drop the instrument off, that nothing could go wrong if we set the expectation right.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. Yeah.
there's an art to that.
Do you ever do kind of like the Aikido move where they come in and maybe just kind of talk them out of the repair or talk them out of being there because there's
every day. Yeah.
I think that on the subject too, there's a lot of that. If we're talking somebody out of the repair, it's simply because we want to be, we want to be honest. We want to be upfront. We appreciate you coming in. We appreciate your business, and we want and need the business. But we're not going to take a repair in where you bring us $100 guitar and it's going to take $500 or $600 to fix it. We want to educate them to that and give them the opportunity to make the choice.
And we have done $800 repairs on $80 guitars.
Sure now.
That's
why. Yeah.
But they've at least been educated and they're making a choice at that point, giving having been given all the info they need.
So are you taking deposits on any of those upside down in the project repair? Like, do you ever like say, look, like if for some reason you decide you're not going to do this, I can't be like $800 into an $80 guitar. Like, do you ever take deposits on some of those projects?
So we take partial payments, and that's how I've been advised by my attorney what to call them.
Okay.
Deposits have to be refunded.
That's a really good tip right there.
Yeah.
So we take partial
payments. Did you get that tip the hard way?
Yeah. Yes.
I did. How many years have you done this? 10, 12, 50.
I mean, I did it before I even got to Buffalo Brothers. But I would say 2010 is probably
10 years.
the official.
So we've had that guy in where we were sorry to take a job. We just had a Memphis guitar in, a little crappy Memphis, but it was his grandfather's. He put a Floyd Rose on. He put a new pickup, new Sir pickup into it. We put so much, and he loves it. When we told him, this is just a Memphis, but it was his grandpa's, and he wanted, that family, the family thing. So occasionally you do that. He was excited as hell, at the end.
Yeah, I think that kind of work can be really, like I came up before people were really getting work done to improve a guitar for sale, like that's one of the things I find kind of frustrating in the vintage world is like it's less about stewardship of the instrument now, and it's more about like everybody kind of is a mic, because of reverb and stuff like that. Everybody's kind of like their own little micro dealer, and so they're all like weighing the repair against the value of the instrument, which is fine. They should be informed consumers, but like in the old days when you'd put a new bone nut on something because a guy had heard that like a bone nut sounds better than a plastic nut or something like that, those days of improving guitars, I think, are kind of more fun, I think, than some of the what's that? Yeah.
Everyone wants to resell it, see how much it's worth, get it cleaned up, see how much it's worth. His friend, he has it.
Yeah, it's interesting because like a lot of those guitars, it's getting to the point where they're worth just as much unplayable as they are playable. So I don't know what's going on with that. Alan Watsky says he just straight up refuses to work for flippers. Yeah, we had a flipper in Brooklyn that I did some work for, and it was just a drag, man.
They grind you.
Yeah, they grind you, and it's just.
You can tell, like you said, you can see a mile away as you do it longer.
Yeah.
Not the guy. He's looking for everything you're going to do wrong.
Yeah. I had one guy tell me, "Well, I bring you the coolest guitars you've ever seen." I'm like, I don't care.
I know.
You can't pay me enough to do this.
I know. Yeah. The flipper that we had in Brooklyn too, he had no idea what he was looking at when he was buying. Like he would just get into these ridiculous guitars and he'd just be overwhelmed by like a Gibson or a Fender on the peg head would just overwhelm him, and he'd just overlook ridiculous problems with the instrument. Like I don't know, like as the internet stuff was taken off, I was like, who's going to do really well with this is UPS. Like they're going to shipping guitars back and forth, like they're going to make
it's a win-win for them.
Yeah. Alan says UPS. So what else would you say is something to think about from kind of from your own perspective of running a multi-person shop? I mean, you've had it good with people, you've had it kind of rough with people, you've had it financially impoverishing, you've had it financially kind of looking like there's some blue sky ahead of you. What are some of your thoughts on what you would tell somebody that was thinking about maybe hiring their first two guys, or something that maybe you wouldn't necessarily think of right off the top of your head?
Oh gosh.
I got one that you do very well.
Okay.
Trust the people that you hire.
Yeah.
If you hire someone and don't completely trust them, then you're going to be thinking in the back of your head, oh, I could have done it better myself and it would have taken longer, but you always want that. I think James does it incredibly well, where he knows that he can put trust into the people that he's got on his crew.
Do you do, James, do you do a working interview?
Yeah, I do a work interview.
Oh yeah.
I did
What you did? What did you have to do for your working interview?
Well, the first day I came in and talked to James and the rest of the guys, and we talked for a little bit, and then he said, come back tomorrow, and we'll kind of throw some stuff at you. And then the next day I came in and he said, let's have you make this nut for this job that came in.
Always a nut. That's the first thing.
Yeah, you can find out a lot about a guy with a nut.
He did
Yeah.
he did a fast nut.
I did a nut, and then every day he told me to come back, and I kept coming back and just getting into the groove of doing jobs. And it took about a month to decide that this is going to work and stick, and then we all as most
signed off on it.
Yeah. Definitely, I think it's good. You need to make sure that you can trust the people that you're doing your work with your name on it.
Yeah.
You got to sign it off to someone else. You got to have complete trust in them.
So that brings up an interesting point. What happens when somebody brings it in and they're like, they had assumed that the mighty James Hood was going to work on it, and then he delegated that responsibility to one of his employees. Do you ever get that kind of or do you tell people straight up, like, there's, like, this is who's going to work on it? I noticed that when the incoming comes in, you assign the tech to the project right away. So does that cut down on that nonsense?
So the way I've taken care of that, because I had a friend tell me, who also is a successful businessman. He says, dude, I wouldn't put your name on your business, because then people are just going to come in asking for you. But what I've realized is that the less that I'm out front, the less that happens. It's very rare now. So I've actually it's been bred out of business.
But 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, everyone wanted James. That was a thing that kind of went away slowly.
Yeah.
It's not as much. It's not as much problem as it used to be. Everyone thought that James was doing all the work, but we've since educated a lot of our customers that we have a multiple crew now.
Do you get guys come in and think that the older fellas than you are actually James? Or are they like, hey, James, to the guy with the gray beard there?
Yeah.
It has happened.
Yeah, several times.
Yeah.
But
James,
And then when that happens, that's when I know that they don't actually know who James is. Oh yeah, I remember James from way back. I'm like, oh, but you think I'm James? So.
Yeah, I remember when I was young Luth and I was working in a fella up in Oregon, Ken Cartwright's shop, and customers would find out that I did the work. I was really young though. I was like 23, and we had a couple people flip out, and then he'd just like show them, like, he's like, this fret job is good, like I don't know what to tell you, like it doesn't matter who does it as long as it turns out like this. So I think that's pretty important. So let's see, I had something else.
Learn not to micromanage.
Yeah.
That's something that you have to come to terms with. You have to be willing to be okay when you're bringing in your first guy. Yeah. You have to be willing to accept that they may make some mistakes.
Yeah.
They may make some really bad mistakes.
Yeah.
That
what's there's camera movement here. Are we focused on somebody in particular, or?
No, I'm just joking.
No. But so
you said it at first. Yeah.
You have to be willing to accept that's
I've had a run here recently where I've had some mistakes, and my wife, after dealing with an extra grumpy Ian, was like, this is a business. You're going to win some and you're going to lose some. Like, you need to learn how to manage those self expectations. And, I think it's something that I would find challenging. Like, if I had guys, like, because especially if I'm having a bad day and some, one of my employees screwed something up, like I might tend to, do that, kind of shit rolling downhill stuff. But that you're able to kind of roll with those punches, I think is a testament to a good level of self-awareness and good psychology there, because I'm still a Neanderthal in my head, I think.
What I've noticed about watching these guys work is that people aren't afraid to ask somebody else for help.
Yeah.
And it's like an open forum. There's no ego or attached to that. Just, from my own observations.
True.
Yeah, that culture is really important, and it doesn't. You'd be surprised. It's probably very strong there, but it's one of those things that you'd be surprised how fragile that is. So really respect it, because it really only takes a couple sideways compliments or whatever for it to kind of be off to the races. But I'm really glad you guys have that ability. So I've sure talked quite a bit. Does anybody have any questions in the Jonathan's got one. Do they charge by the job or the time taken? What's your bidding process like? Are you doing like when the bid is the bid that goes on the ticket, and that's what it is, and that's what the customer is going to pay when they come in? I just listened to Frank Ford describing how if they bid something and they find loose braces, they just eat it and fix it, because they don't want to call the customer back. I was like, Frank, you can't put that on the internet.
Oh. That's bad. No, I've taught my guys to, you find something that wasn't found in the initial inspection, call them, tell them how much it's going to cost to fix it.
So that brings me back. So are you, so you look at like a neck set and you have like a standard, do you have a standard like price list that you're going off of? Or are you just like, hey, I think this is going to take about 13 hours. Our shop rate is $100 an hour. You're going to pay $1,300 probably, but there's going to be a plus or minus, or what do you have a published price list?
So that's all in Repair Shopper. So that's one of the things I've done is I've gone in there and created pricing for jobs just based on my experience and how long I think most jobs should take. And so that way, as we grow, that's in there, right? And so it's kind of a no-brainer for your front end guy. Just go in and search for a neck reset. Oh, it's a Martin. Okay, it's a dovetail. Okay, $800. That's where it starts, right? So
$800 for a Martin neck set. Can you come bid my projects for me?
So that's the other thing too, is that as I've raised prices,
nobody's complained, have they?
No one's complained. But either they're going to do it or they're not. And most of the time, people are like, "That's about what I thought it was going to be."
Yeah.
That's the time. What they say. It's about an 8-hour job.
Yeah. So you have a price list, and you also have an hourly rate that you kind of use to like some of the wackadoo ones, like if you got to replace pearl inlay or something like that, and it's not on the price list. Do you have a shop rate?
$120 per hour is what we
120.
Yeah.
So do you figure an hour for a nut? Is that like a kind of a guideline for a nut? A nut is 120, or
we charge $85 to do a basic nut for like any 90. Well, 90, yeah, $90 to do.
Okay.
But if I'm doing a nut that's multi-angle for a older Martin, then I'm going to charge $120.
So you do slide based on the value of the instrument a little bit?
No, I just do it based on what's needed. Really, I have had some people tell me that, oh, when you get an old vintage guitar that's worth several $1,000s, you should charge more, and I can see that being the case because the risk of damaging the instrument, is.
Yeah, honestly, like in a lot of cases, I feel more comfortable working on like a $20,000 Martin that I could, if I scratch it, I can put some chew dip into, rather than, like a brand new $3,000 Collins that doesn't have a single scratch on it. Gives me more anxiety,
Right.
But yeah, that value thing it's tricky, but like, are you insured through like Heritage? Do you have like any kind of insurance on the instruments beyond just kind of your business liability? Whoop.
Yeah, I do. Oh, my battery's going low?
Yeah.
Hold on. We can plug it in here. Give me a second. No, I do have, I am insured. I don't have that type of insurance that you were talking about, that extra insurance, where it's, what is it, being bonded? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if bonding is necessarily, it might be a good idea. I don't know. But I know Heritage, at least it used to be, Heritage was the only insurer that would cover guitars against flood.
We're going to have to change angles here.
But like if you were to get a like a $50,000 guitar, and would you go get a writer to cover it special, or would you just kind of let it ride?
I haven't, well, I make sure that I have enough insurance to take care of stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Maybe I should see if I could get a guy from Heritage on to do one of these. It would be good to talk to them. Danny West says he needs to raise his prices.
Here's what I noticed.
Oh, Alan says if somebody brings in something expensive, he requires the owner to have his own coverage. That's really good. That's a good idea. Like,
oh wow.
I wonder like if we could get almost like I was thinking about like doing everything on email and then almost like writing an Apple terms of service thing where they check the box and they have no idea what's in there, and it would have like stuff like that in there, like you're required to insure your own guitar, you're required to suck it up and deal with it if I accidentally ding your guitar, that kind of stuff.
You're taking the risk, right?
Let's see here. So that's Jonathan. David has a really good one. Parts and strings and, like how are you inventorying all the stuff that you need? Are you ordering as you go for stuff, or do you keep a fair amount of parts on hand? Do you have parts that you would sell to customers, or do you have like a no parts sold clause? If somebody came in and they wanted a $250K pot, are you like, go get it off the internet, buddy, or do you sell a pot every once in a while?
We'll sell them. Yeah, if somebody calls and needs a part, another repair guy will call and say, hey, do you have this? We'll sell them that, or fret wire, or whatever they need. As long as they're making a profit on it, because that's why we have the parts.
Yeah. So do you keep a fully stocked parts situation? Do you do you have like a parts area or a parts bin or something like that?
We have a huge toolbox full of parts over here.
Okay.
Where we keep our nut blanks, switches, jacks, nuts, caps.
Are those all your Taylor shims up there?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was Taylor certified at one point.
Yeah.
Show us the toolbox, somebody said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people love to see what's in your drawers, James.
All right, get ready.
So,
Unplug from here first.
And by drawers, I mean toolbox.
I know. All right, so this is the top drawer here. We keep batteries and screws and little parts, lock washers for jacks and pots. There's an old skate key in there. This is just a menagerie of pots that we keep, capacitors and odds and ends. Old nuts.
What's your move for bulk strings? Are you ordering bulk strings from D'Addario?
I did do that for a while. I ended up with leftover strings.
Yeah, weird combos.
Yeah. So I just stopped doing that, and I just started. We stock a bunch of strings here. We keep all that stuff in stock.
Do you keep a lot of singles too?
Yeah, we do have singles. Hello. Hi. Yeah, we do have the single strings, the usual ones that
Uh-huh.
that break. The high
Uh-huh.
E
Uh-huh.
usually is what breaks.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay,
hold on.
keep going. Whoa, what's that big roll of tape?
This?
Yeah.
Oh, you need to get you some of this.
Oh,
So here's the part number 3M 467 MP.
uh-huh.
This is pickguard adhesive.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So,
Getting low battery again.
oh, we got to plug it back in.
Yeah. Is there a place over here I can? Yeah. Hold on a
Yeah,
second.
right here.
Thank you, sir.
It's a long cable.
Sorry about that. All right.
Cool. All right, keep going on those drawers.
Here's a bunch of fretting tools here.
So you got your drawers organized by job, kind of?
Yes.
That's a good
This
move.
way anybody can come here and say, "Oh, hey, we're doing a refret. We need this. We need
Uh-huh.
that. We need the hand press, including me, because I'll still do refrets. Like if I'm doing a neck reset on an old Martin and the guy wants a refret, then I'm doing it.
Strap buttons.
Strap
That's
buttons of all sorts here.
Uh-huh.
Knobs, bridge pins, blocks.
So do you keep pretty good inventory on this stuff? Like, do you have a sense of when it's time to order and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, actually. So yes and no.
Yeah.
So the system sends me emails on when we're getting low on certain things, but I've got so much other stuff going on that I need to, that's a reminder for me. I need to turn that over to Bob and make sure that all those emails are going to him.
Yeah.
So he can freak out about that stuff.
Okay. So part of your point of sale thing is an inventory management thing. You also
Yes.
So okay, and you got probably a laser scanner to scan SKUs in, or
We do. You can use a laser scanner. I haven't hooked it up yet.
So when a box comes from all parts, you just basically suck it up and sit down and put it all in the computer as it comes in.
So all of my everything that happens through my bank, most things we purchase with a card, and so that's able to be tracked and put right into my QuickBooks.
Amazing.
So that way we can just go in and say, okay, well these are parts. These are parts when you're doing reconciliation. These are parts. This was a special order, and we're able to just kind of in bulk say, all right, this is what we spent on parts, right? Mm-hmm. This is what we spent on finishing supplies. This is what we spent on. You kind of get where I'm going with it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, nuts. You got to make sure you have nuts and saddle blanks.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have this stuff in stock, it slows your turnaround time down.
Yeah.
You know, you got to keep these around too.
Yeah, whip tips. Are those from Blue Boost, or who are those from?
I think I just found those on Amazon.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's an empty drawer. Anyway.
Cool. All right, man. Anybody have any other questions? I feel like we're taking up. Oh, Michael Drazen wants to know, you thinking about taking on a plec?
That's actually come up in conversation.
Yeah. Yeah,
my partner actually said we need to get a plec, and I said, well, it'll happen, you know.
Okay.
But it's, to me, a plec is more of a production tool. That's more what it is, you know. So if you're making instruments, I think that comes in pretty handy. I hear different. I used to argue against it, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, you know, the people would come in and say, "Oh, I'm just going to get it plecked." I'm like, "Dang it, I'm losing a job there," you know. It doesn't really come up a whole lot. anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it. It's not something people ask me for. Like I think obviously they probably don't. I've seen some plucked guitars too that I was like, I don't know what is going on here.
Right.
But I imagine like with anything, like it could have been, user error. Plus, like with that stuff, like the first Plex that I was seeing, and like some of the pictures I see of what they're up to now, like obviously that machine has undergone some innovation over the years since I've seen Plex stuff. But I don't, it's almost like stainless steel frets. It's one of those things that was like everybody was asking for stainless steel frets, and then one day they weren't. Like it was like something kind of seemed like it came and went. But I don't know. Danny says there isn't a Plek in San Diego, and most of them are too lazy to drive up to LA. So there you go. I think this might be one of those things too. If you advertise it, it might just draw people in that maybe we're going somewhere else too.
Right. That's just it. It is I mean, if we got one, you better believe I'd be advertising it.
Yeah.
But the Plek is only as good as its operator.
Yeah. I have this fantasy of being like John Henry and dying with my tiny little hammer in my hand, like just like I picture going up against it and just wearing myself out, just fretting. But yeah, it's funny too, because like in a fret job, like it doesn't save you from putting the frets in poorly, like it doesn't save you from doing a bad job playing in the fingerboard or, any of the other things that can go wrong with frets.
Right.
And I think probably what I saw from what I thought were bad Plek jobs were just like somebody thought that the Plek was going to like bail them out from every other problem that they were having with the fret job. So, like it was, you're asking that poor machine to make up for some wonky radiuses or, stuff like that.
All right. Thanks again.
Right.
No problem.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, James, I think I'm going to let you, we ran a little long, so I think I'm going to let you get back to work and do your stuff. I really want to thank you for showing us around and taking the time to talk about some of the stuff that goes on with this. I know everybody that, is trying to figure out how to make a living in this racket. Like it does seem like it's difficult to do it as a solo shop, like it does seem like what you're doing is kind of the evolutionary step for, somebody that's trying to kind of escape, being poor all the time from Luthen. So
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're growing.
yeah.
But I'm really glad you asked me to do this. It's been a blast.
Yeah.
Before we go, I want Mikki to tell everybody where they can go to see the mandolins that he builds.
Oh yeah.
And then same thing with Tucker.
Yeah, actually, everybody that's in the shop, plug really quick so we can.
Go ahead, Paul. Tuck?
Yeah.
You want to tell them where to go for your guitars?
Oh, you have to come here to James Said Guitar. But yeah, I have an Instagram. T Bancroft Luthier is what I'm calling it right now. But I'm building acoustic guitars. Mostly acoustics right now. I've done electrics and stuff, but I'm trying to focus on the acoustic guitars. But
I'm already following you on there.
yeah, I think you are. I've been following you for a while too.
All right.
Or I was here with James, I think. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. But I'm not really building much. I've been focusing on repair work, but we're building out our shop in the back here.
Yeah.
And we'll be keeping going with it. But yeah, Mikki just brought out a mandolin. I've got a guitar here in the shop hanging up.
Oh, cool.
Look at that.
Nice job.
That is
Oh,
bitchin'.
that's attractive.
Thanks. Yeah. So I would say Lamb's Mandolins. I have a website, lambsmandolins.org.
Okay.
Lamb's Mandolins on Facebook and on Instagram. This is one. So I'm that guy, probably like a lot of builders, that has been building for, I don't know, I guess it's been about 13 or 14 years now, and never owned my own instrument because they've all gone to customers over the years. I'm a solo shop. It's just me building them, so I never really have stuff even for available. availability. It's always special order. This is one that I actually decided to keep because in the mandolin world, I am a bit of an anomaly because the relic thing is not really a thing.
Yeah.
I've seen, there's one of the bigger manufacturers that does offshore instruments. They do a relic version. It's kind of the same every time. I've seen a couple of the other builders out there, more custom level stuff that are starting to do more of it now. I just wanted to build one that, had looked like it had been in the family since the 20s or 30s. Yeah. But yeah, this is definitely this is not the norm. I mean, it is the third relic that I've done. The other two were for customers. But it's certainly not the norm. Most of the ones that you'll see on the side are all, nice and new and shiny. So.
Awesome.
Here's one of Tucker's guitars.
Yeah.
Awesome.
OM style, same scale length and everything as Martin.
That's really pretty.
Black limba, back and sides with a cedar top. Cocobolo binding, fretboard, bridge, head plate.
Why have I never seen this?
It's hanging up in the front there.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
yeah, this great.
Really pretty.
All locally sourced woods from San Diego.
That's cool.
Yeah,
You got to be getting excited to put those tools to use out back, I would think.
I can't wait. We're so excited to start building here out
Yeah.
in the shop.
I don't know how excited.
A lot of growth for us.
I don't know how excited my wife will be because once Tucker and I start using those, even though I'm only about 2 miles from home, she might not see me till long after.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you just teach other people how to do what you do.
Yes, sir. See, that's why James is the top because he thinks of all the things that we should be thinking about.
Yeah. It's starting a guitar factory is that's a whole nother kettle of fish there, man. So who else? We got one other guy we should talk to, right?
Bob?
Bob,
Yeah.
Bob is just a fantastic player.
Bob, you wanna do some self-promotion?
Don't you know who I think I am? There's no beginning to my talent.
There's no beginning.
Bob's the king of one-liners.
Oh my God.
So, you want me to talk about me for a minute?
Yeah, Bob. Right?
Yeah, tell us about yourself.
I need a light and I need a little air on my face. And I need a visor.
Why don't you play us a little
Makeup.
play us a little something as we're going out off the air.
So I'm just used to work at Buffalo Brothers, and I'm the front end guy. They don't let me touch tools.
I don't finish the guitar and then I give it to Bob right away. Make sure he plays it before it goes out. Because he knows what everything needs to feel like and he's an amazing player.
There we go. I think this is the first finger wiggling we've had on here.
Why am I used to doing this?
Oh, that's nice.
So I play guitar.
Is that a minor 7 flat 5 or a half diminished? I couldn't tell. Let's see here. Hey everybody. Thanks for dropping by. I wanted to tell everybody we got some good stuff coming up. We got I roped Iris Carr into doing a thing with us, so we're going to talk about some real hot stuff, violin luth, and her stuff is ugh. So actually Grace, who didn't make it today, is going to do an interview for me. I'm gonna let her take over and interview somebody she's interested in, and step back for a little bit. But we got some good stuff coming. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, guys. Bye, everybody.
Ian's one of the
Thank you, and take care.
Ian, one of the best repair guys I know.
Oh shucks.
Ian, we appreciate you.
James, have a good one, and thanks again for doing this for us, man.
Yeah, man.
If you're ever in California, come and say hi.
I will. Yeah. If I ever get on a plane again, we'll get up.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
All right, man. See ya.